By now, a special guest from the Netherlands, Joost Volker, Sales and Business Director for Europe and the Middle East and Africa of the Web Center and BPM in Oracle, will lecture about digital business, your next generation e-commerce experience. Mr. Volker, thanks you for coming here these days, and the stage is yours.
Great. Thanks for being. Good morning, shalom, everyone. Great to be here. Great audience, physical audience. I'm going to talk, by the way, I'm going to talk about digital audience today. Thank you to hear you in person here. Oracle on stage, interesting. E-commerce, global company, going local. You may know Oracle as a large company, databases, ERP systems, supply chain management. But Oracle is also CRM, Siebel CRM. Oracle is all kind of marketing automations, Eloqua, Vitru, responses. Oracle also is Java. Everyone probably here using it. Oracle's open office. So Oracle is much more than probably a lot of people know. And I hope today, in this 15 minutes, to give you a flavor of what we do in this space. We're going to talk about digital business platform, which we see as the platform to provide your next generation e-commerce. And I'm going to give you a few customer cases. My name is Joost Volker. I'm working across Europe, Middle East, Africa, Israel as well, and I do meet a few customers once in a while. So hopefully I can share some with you. One of those customers actually I work with was, let me just click through it, here we go, is BT. So a lot of people would probably know BT from their magnificent phone booth. So a classical English design. But if you would search for BT today, you wouldn't find any booth anymore. Because BT really understood what digital transformation is about. If you would look for BT today, you would find this. BT Sports, Television, Betting. And one of the presenters before said, you know, where is it happening? It's happening in sports and entertainment. The curve just showed by the gentleman from Cal goes up. They really well understood if you want to sell broadband, if you want to sell mobile, if you want to sell access, don't think about the access, think about what people do with it. So BT stepped into sports, television, etc., just fueling what their consumers need to make use of what they offer. Betting, sports, that's what they do. BT. Okay, so digital business, as we see it, is part of a larger phenomenon happening. We call digital transformation, digital disruption. And think about your own business, think about your customers. What's happening is technology today can provide so much different things. Whether you have a printer at home, when you have your phone, mobile phone, whatever, so much new things that one click and someone enters your business, your industry, with a ridiculous idea, it's going to be a great business. They may be disrupting your business and shorten the value chain. Otherwise, you may think about entering a different industry, a different geography, going global from local to global, and think about how you can shorten the value chain and disrupt others. That's what I mean with digital transformation, digital disruption. And to be ready for that, think where you are. Left side, right side. Be sure if others are going to enter your business, you better should be on the right side. Because we know that the life cycle of companies is going down quickly, particularly in this digital area. Companies grow, companies die. One of the companies who really understood how this worked is Apple. They understood very well to start from a hardware company being a computer that somewhere they had to fuel other things to get business going. So they got media in their head. iPhone, sorry, iTunes, iPods. And they disrupted the whole media industry. They shortcutted. Once they understood they had disrupted that piece, they said, okay, what am I going to do next? I'm going to own the access to it. So they got into phones, because they knew any new business, 80% of new business is going to go through mobile devices, not through legacy. So they got into phones. And eventually, they knew the phones itself is going to be a commodity. So what are we going to do? We're going to own the place where people want to go for, which is the apps marketplace. So they are thinking ahead every time, fueling a new marketplace to ensure that the old marketplace is taken for. So think about that, take it with you where customers want to go. We worked with some people, Sloan Research, and found out when you want to transform your business, there are few things you can invest in. One, I think the foremost, customer experience. And I think it's widespread. People talk about it here. I think on the floor you will see a lot of companies focusing on customer experience. I think most of our customers, 44% of them, will invest in improving that customer experience, customer journey. But there's also a good portion that thinks about changing their operations. 30%, 1 out of 3. Changing operations makes you much leaner. And 26, 1 out of 4, going after new business models. So don't just rush away into new business models. Think as well what you can do with your existing customers. Think what you can do with your existing operations. And think what you can do in new business. Shortly, of course, customer experience. Getting quite familiar, digital experience. Actually, it's all about the journey, customer journey. How do you get your customers? How do you keep them? How do you keep momentum? How do you avoid breaks? Don't fix it, avoid the breaks. Churn, absolutely. Get away from it. So actually, customer experience, I think we all know about it. Put your money in it. And think about what mobile can do in it. And when I mean mobile, I mean mobile access, mobility, not just mobile phones, car navigation system, anything, any point of touch. Where should I be pointing? Here it is. Yeah. I mentioned operational improvements, and maybe something which is absolutely unforgotten. But if you think about how to serve your customers right, think about what you can do internally as well. If you are able to decrease your processing time, work smarter, it will save you costs, a lot of agility, eventually react faster. And lastly, of course, a new business model. And this is about agility and seizing the winners opportunities. Just to give you a hunch, we can talk about it later, but this is the kind of 3 areas where we see our customers invest in when they wanted to do a digital transformation. Dollar signs. Good, everyone has dollar signs in their eyes. How do you get them? Working with customers, we have looked into it, and eventually what we would see is a lot of focus has always been on the buying area. And just to give you explain, so on the green you would see people looking for a solution, looking for service, looking for products. They will search, they will find, and then somewhere they will select and start purchasing. But that's not where e-commerce stops. It needs to go on, because once you have them, you'll be able to deliver. You want to know how they use it, if they use it, how they use it. And once they use it, how to maintain, and therefore how they would recommend. And by recommendation, how they again can fuel the need for your service and products. And goes on and on. So when we look at digital transformation, and particularly on e-commerce, we're not looking for a one-off. We're looking for fueling this life cycle, starting somewhere, mostly in green, and going on and on. Over time, what we've been seen happening is that the different systems in place have moved together, overlapping. Different domains coming together. And eventually, also on the floors here, you would see a lot of things which might be competing, might be in sync, might be out of sync, but all we have kind of a customer centricity in our thinking. Too much might be out of sync. Not enough, you will miss the boat. So somewhere in between, we're looking in what a platform can do for you to have the different capabilities together, and with that, to get the best online performance. And how we look at it, and we develop with some customers, is actually if you want to rebuild, re-architecture your company for digital business, there are actually 3 levels you should look at. First level, we call the systems of engagement. How do you interact? How do you sell? How do you purchase? How do you measure? How do you analyze? How do you process? Any of this should be in sync. Could be different products, could be different companies, must be in sync. Second level, system of foundation. If you get it right on the top, how do you process? How do you for sure know that data is transformed into information that you can reuse? And reuse to fuel new business models. And lastly, think about how you're going to deploy it. On-premise, in the private cloud, or in the public cloud. Because all those different models might be better off with one of the choices, or with all 3. So that's the things customers are thinking about when they're deploying new business models, new transformational stuff. To get to a few customer cases, focusing very much what we call the system of engagement. And when we talk about what we see a lot is when you address your digital audience, there are different levels of different ways of interacting with them. The unknown, which is out there, billboards, classic ads, viral ads, and then when you address them, your total addressable market, when you can manage, and what I mean with managing, that you are somewhere in control, moderating what's happening, and then what's your control area. That's mainly where your sites are. You control them, you control the content, you control the journey, you control what's on it, you control what people do on it. And of course, what you control more or less is what's happening inside, what you know about your customers. Your CRM systems, your content systems that help you to offer the best controllable environment and customer journey. It gets interesting is how do you get a good ROI from what you do in the unknown world. So you put ads out there, how do you know they get to you? How do you get them in your controlled environment where you own the content, where you own the customer journey, where you can have the best return? And definitely, how do you get those areas where you put yourself in the open, in your marketing cloud, in your social cloud, and be there and protect your brand and get them as well in your controlled environment? Because you don't control what's happening in the social cloud. You are there, but others are there as well. Your brand is there, but others know your brand. And they can ruin your brand as well. So think about how you can get them in your controlled environment where you own it. So one of our customers, actually, we work with this idea. It's the Holland America line, 100 years old, good old business, starting from Rotterdam into New York, carrying immigrants from the Netherlands to the New World. They understood, of course, that it was a business model that was no longer true. They changed themselves into cruises. And actually, it's not about getting people from A to B. It's about the entertainment they offer on board and off board. And it is just, booking agents, etc. They could see the revenues going down. And thought, how can we change that? And actually, we looked in how actually do people book. And from the very start, we looked into if you could change, if you could optimize the kind of content, targeting on their journey to booking, and make it more specific, make it more entertaining. Will it help your revenues? When they get to the catalog, if you showed what they really like and need, would they click quicker? If you get to your basket and you get the right upsell in there, would they buy more? Control group shows that you can get up to 40% uplift if you do this right. We're using some technologies for that, intelligent technologies, real-time technologies. With every click, customer learns more about what's happening. Last one, Victoria's Secret. And yes, I know they all sell shoes. This is really a seasonal business. You can imagine going up and down around Christmas time. Most people here probably would know Victoria's Secret as well from the shops. Talking about brand, they don't sell that well in the shops. But the shops are an imperative to be online. So we help them to be online. People go in the shop, what they do, they just have a look, they go home and they buy. And that's where I help them with. So have a channel at maximum speed, seasonal, which can have those kind of numbers, talking about 11 million per day to help them online. With that, I'm happy to be here over in the Oracle booth and talking about customers, a few more which we work with to digital transformation, a Redison, absolutely a great brand across Facebook, the managed area and the controlled area, but also the likes of Iberia or BT, but even in the public sector, Metropolitan Police, who really understand how to engage with our citizens. So thank you for being here, and with that, hope to see you.